Welcome to my efforts to revise the textbook I wrote to teach homeschoolers world history. A Bible believer looks at world history. So I'm returning back to the Bible now, and I'm going to return to the biblical narrative from what I was talking about last time. So we finally have come to King Manasseh, Hezekiah's son, being carried away to Babylon by the king of Assyria in Second Chronicles 33. Remember what I said about Babylon and Assyria being the southern and northern parts of essentially the same culture, that the king of Babylon was also known as the king of Assyria, Second Chronicles 33:11. Hezekiah, according to Usher, dies in 698 BC. The Babylonian Talmud, which I'll discuss later, the early Christian leader Justin Martyr in his work Tryphon, and Jerome, the Bible translator, all refer to the passage in Hebrews 11:37 as being a reference to the prophet Isaiah being sawn asunder by King Manasseh. According to ancient historian Ptolemy in his Canon of Kings, Regebelos ruled over Babylon 5 years after this. Then came Maisis Mordakos, and then finally, beginning in 688 BC, there was no king in Babylon for 8 years. In Egypt, beginning in 678 BC, there was no king for 2 years, and then an oligarchy, or a group of men, in this case 12, ruled for 15 years. Political events of the ancient Near East were constantly swirling around one city or kingdom, rising against another, falling and rising again, or disappearing from the historical record, like Nineveh. And although the wicked king Manasseh seems to have changed his ways at the end, the apostasy of Judah had sealed its fate, just like the northern kingdom of Israel, as God's judgment against his people came to pass. The setting is now prepared for the greatest corrupter of religion and one of the greatest kingdoms of history to enter the scene again in full force. Babylon will play a part spiritually in all the following chapters of human history, and is even referred to in the end time prophecies of Revelation. We come to the king Josiah, the likes of which were none before or after, according to 2 Kings 23:25, turning to the Lord God with all his heart, all his soul, and all his might, according to the law of Moses. Still, his reformation of Judah does not prevent him from making a key mistake in challenging Pharaoh Necho of Egypt, who had come to fight against the Assyrian Babylonian war machine. Now, Necho was the son of Psammetichus and reigned in Egypt for 16 years, according to Greek historian Herodotus. This leader began a channel from the Nile to the Red Sea public works project that cost the lives of 120,000 Egyptians. He abandoned the work when it was half done. He sent Phoenicians to sail around Africa. Leaving from the Red Sea, they sailed south and arrived at the Pillars of Hercules, of which Gibraltar in Spain is one, and Monte Jaco and Ceuta in Africa is the other, at the entrance of the Mediterranean Sea 3 years later. This can also be found in Herodotus' The Histories. These events occurred around 616 BC, according to Usher. Now, we're going to talk next about Pharaoh Necho going to battle against Assyria, and records of that. So I hope that if you watch this, you'll click like, and feel free to, if you feel you want to correct me on something, just provide your citation so I can learn from your research. Thank you.